Morning. So I'm Blake, the Market Center Tech Trainer. I'm going to be teaching you guys about Docusign today. So we're going to go over and how to fill out all of the forms in there, as in technically wise. I can't teach you what you should be putting in, but I can teach you how to be putting it in. I'm going to be going over your required document list to show you where to pull those from to make sure you have everything for compliance. And then by the end of today, you'll know how to import a PDF and make any corrections you need to on maybe offers that are sent to you or anything like that. How's that sound? Good. All right. So we're going to get started. We get started inside of Command, actually. And we have a couple steps before we get to the Docusign portion itself. First, we're entering in a contact. The second is we're creating an opportunity. And then within that opportunity, we're actually going to go to Docusign through that. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So we have the opportunities, which is the two shaking hands. Come on. Maybe. Come on. It's moving slow. The internet also likes to go slow on rainy days. I'm going to create an opportunity. When I create the opportunity, I'm going to make sure I'm in the correct market center. If you're in multiple states, you may have different market centers if you're with KW. So I'm going to click make sure I'm in Lakewood Ranch. My opportunity type, we're going to go over a listing today. The owner of this opportunity is going to be yourself. If you are on a team, it may be the rainmaker. So in this box, it'll let you choose who is that actual owner of the opportunity. And then we're going to come to clients. So I'm going to start typing the client's name. And this is why you have to have them inside of the contacts so they can be pulled up in the system. So I have, let's see, I think I have, do I have any James? We'll use Janet. Janet Poss. And Janet is Harry Potter's co-seller. Opportunity name, I like to have it as the address. It's going to make it easier for us to find, because what if we had an investor who had multiple properties that they were listing with us? It'd be very confusing if we have Jamie Smith 15 times. So I will always put the address in there for the opportunity name. And I'm going to leave that dash listing in there as well. So I'm going to say 345 Lakewood. Oops. Boulevard. Custom tags. This is going to work the same way tags do inside of contacts. It's going to allow us to categorize what kind of opportunity this is. Some examples are I have a land tag, luxury, could be my family that I'm working for, test. So this is a test, we're going to do that. What else can we do? Fictional, this is not real, but I created all these tags in there. So if maybe it's a condo, you'll create a condo tag, or a single family home tag, luxury tag, land tag. It could be an REO tag, so maybe you have some repossessed homes that need to be sold and you're working with them. So it's REO. Estimated close date, we don't have one yet because we're working with a listing, so we don't know. Estimated listing price, though, we do have that because we've presented and they've accepted with us. So we're going to say that it's listing at $1 million. A nice round number. Commission rate is always going to be your half of the commission. So we're listing it, so we usually put the whole commission. So if we're listing at 6%, we are putting 3% in here if that's our split. If we worked something different, maybe the buyers are getting 2% and we get 4%. So it's whatever your portion of the commission is going to be, you're going to put in here. I like to go right down the middle at 3. The opportunity phase could be cultivate, but at this point we are meeting with our potential client. They said, yes, I want to sign with you. So I'm like, okay, this is an appointment. And my opportunity stage is going to be in kept. This make an appointment is a custom stage I put in there. I'm going to have a class that'll show you how to do that. So you're going to say that it's been kept. And then I'll click create. This is just for this example. You could have opportunity phase and is active as well. And that means there's a contract signed ready for sale, or that they are showing the property or something along those lines. Active just means that an agreement has been signed already. But we're going to go appointment because I haven't signed that agreement yet. So I'm going to click create. And it creates the opportunity for me. And then I'm going to go into documents. So this is the opportunity dashboard. This is the details section. And when I hit on documents, this is going to be the area where I start uploading my documents for compliance. So I'm going to choose a checklist type. If you don't choose a checklist type, you're not going to be able to upload anything. So I'm going to pick checklist type, and this is going to be residential. And now I have 3 different folders here on the left: listed, under contract, and closed. We're going to start in listed because we have to get our listing paperwork done. I'm going to click on start a transaction now, and it's going to take me into DocuSign. It's going to ask me to sign in. And it takes me directly into the document section inside of DocuSign. If I click on details first, so it starts me off in documents. If I click on details, I can go in here and I can add information. So the more information I add, the more it's going to transfer over into the documents that I pull in.
Where do you actually sign up to get a DocuSign? Does it just ask me for my password?
That would have been Scott Leroy. A Scott Leroy email would have been sent with you all your passwords and logins.
Oh.
That'll be in there. Yep. So for the details, I'm going to click the edit button, and I'm going to put some more information in. So my seller's already brought over from command, but the address has not, because I didn't put the address anywhere. So I'm going to put it in here now. What did I say it was? 345 Lakewood Beach. 345. City, Lakewood Ranch. County, we're in Manatee, right? We are in Manatee County.
Yeah.
State is Florida. All right, Florida. 34202. The property type is, we're going to say, where are you? Residential. This is going to be residential attached. So we're pretending it is a single family home with a garage attached to it. Don't need a year built, don't have that, no special circumstances. The listing date we'll say is going to be today, because they're going to sign with us today. The expiration date is going to be, let's do 6 months. 1, 2, 3, 4. August, let's say 23rd. Listing amount is $1 million. And current listing amount, we can leave blank because we don't have that. We don't have an offer yet or any of that information. So I have all of the info that I can right now. On the right-hand side, you'll see that both of my sellers are in here. So Janet Haas and then Harry Potter. And then we have the listing agent 1, which is my information. It's already filled in from command. And then I'll hit save. Okay, so details are completed. I'm going to click on documents now. And I need to upload documents, but I'm not sure what I need to add. So I'm going to go click on the command tab, and I'll see that I have a list of required documents, starting with the listing agreement, and the KW seller's disclosure, the MLS broker synopsis, active status signed by seller, seller's property disclosure, residential, signed by both parties, and wire fraud prevention notice. We're not going to have this signed by both parties until after they're under contract. So you don't have to worry about this one yet. You'll still need the seller's property disclosure because they're going to have to fill it out and then sign it, but it doesn't need to be uploaded until both parties are here. Then we're required wire fraud prevention notice. So I'm going to go back into DocuSign, back in the documents, and I'm going to click the blue add button. I'm going to click on DocuSign forms. If you have not been in here yet, a different window is going to pop up. It's going to ask you to validate the association you're with. So you'll just click on where it says Realtor. It'll be the blue Realtor logo. And then you're going to make sure your last name is correct in there. and your, I think it's your MLS number or your NAR or your MLS number to go in there. Your NAR and MLS number are usually the same. And then once it verifies, and it's going to ask you which association you're a part of. You're part of the Florida Realtors Association. You'll choose Florida, and then it'll allow you access into the documents. So we can see here, this is, I don't know if this is the, because I have access to both Inglewood's and here, I'm not sure which groups these are. I think they're the Inglewood groups broken down. The groups for Lakewood Ranch are a little bit different. I don't know which ones they are. But if you didn't have the groups, we can still find them. You do have groups. I just don't know which ones I'm in right now. Show less. Groups are broken down. All they are individual, not individual, but multiple documents pulled into one area that you may need. So for doing a listing, where you would find the listing group for residential and find all the documents that we need for it and go check, check, check. I'm going to show you here. So we're doing a listing package, single family. So, and then it shows the documents we may need. So I need that exclusive right of listing sale agreement. And I need, okay, this is the Inglewood groups. I wonder, I can't switch it into the, let's see if I can. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna see if I can.
And you will know what documents you need based on the previous page.
You're gonna know what you need based on this right here, yeah. I'm going to see if I can switch over to Lakewood Ranches. Okay. So in Lakewood Ranch, I'm clicking the add, DocuSign forms. My groups are, oh my gosh, they're still the same. This, not right. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna log in and log out. Stop. Okay, well, it's still showing up for me. So we know we need specific items. So we're going to go through it, go to your listing package that's in there. For some reason, I can't switch it over to the Lakewood Ranch one. This is the Inglewood broken out one. So I'm going to need that exclusive right of listing agreement. What else do I need? KW seller's disclosure. So I need the seller's disclosure. And that is going to be in my library. So at the bottom, the libraries host all of our documents. So if something is missing in a group, it's going to be found in the library. So this is the KW seller's information. So we're going to go to the library 373. So here's that KW seller's disclosure. I need that.
For us, right?
Yep, 373 is this office number. And then I need, what else? The brokerage synopsis is going to come from the MLS. I can't do anything about that through DocuSign, but I need a seller's property disclosure, which is in my packet. I need seller's property disclosure. I believe a wire fraud prevention notice. And that is all the requireds I need for listing right now. I'll click add selected. And it's going to populate the documents inside. I'm going to open up my exclusive right of sale listing. And we see that the information I've already filled in the details section has been filled in here. Now I'm just going to go through and finish completing this. So let's see, is the occupancy property is or is not? What pricing I'm going to take, cash, conventional, VA, FHA. I'm not going to take any others. So we're going to use a lockbox. I'm going to withhold verbal offers. So see, I'm just clicking through, I'm going into the boxes and I'm just typing the information. So let's see, we're listing at 6%. Let's see, this is going to be. So this is where I'm fuzzy on what to fill in. Don't listen to me when it comes to this. I'm just going to put some numbers and information in here just to show my point. 6.
Can you type in an A?
Let's do that. Yep. Thank you. That's a good idea. Do checkbox 3. 3. And we'll do 1. Conditional termination, additional terms, and seller's signatures. Click save and close. So how hard does that look to fill something out? Not hard, no, fairly easy. It's going to be the same way for every document in here. So I'll open up the seller's disclosure. Seller's disclosure is nice because it looks scary with all the boxes, but we don't check those. That's for our sellers. I can't tell you that for sure. Have anything to do with the boxes that you're about to see. Oh, this is the sellers of real estate. This is the disclosure. Information is already filled in. We don't have to do anything else for that. Save. Property disclosure, that's what I'm talking about, sorry. Seller's property disclosure looks scary with all the checkboxes. Well, all we do is fill in the name and address and then send it to them to fill out. See, it's already filled out here. Oh, we don't even have to put a name. And then everything else is the seller's responsibility to check off. Save and close. During the example, I don't use the seller's disclosure because it would take forever to get through. So it is just a checkbox. All you have to do is click on it and a check mark will appear. And wire fraud prevention notice. And so when you fill in a document with the most information in DocuSign, it's going to transfer into every other document you come in. So if you didn't use the details tab, but just use that agreement to list the property, it would fill in all that information you put in there into the other documents as well. So you could bypass the details page altogether just by using something very information heavy that you're going to input. So here, okay, great. Save and close. So now my documents are ready to be signed. This is our next important step. For this example, I'm only going to be using the exclusive right of sale, seller's disclosure, and the wire fraud. I come back into the documents page and the checkbox in the corner is where I'm going to click to select them. And then I'm going to come up to this toolbar, and the pen icon is the create an envelope. And you're creating an envelope like you were to send a letter to send to somebody. That's literally what it is. You're putting this all together into an electronic envelope to send to someone to sign. So I'm going to click create envelope. And it's going to show me in the details a name that I need to give it. So I'm going to say these are my listing docs. You're the only person that's going to see the name of the envelope. It's called listing docs. I have the documents itself in here, and I can change this order around if I want to now. So maybe I want the wire fraud prevention before seller's disclosure. So I just drag and drop, move it over. Or maybe I want the listing agreement last, which I don't. I usually want it first just to make it easy. So I'm going to move that up to the front. I can add more documents in here by clicking on Room Docs. When it comes to adding people who need to sign something, you're going to choose pre-tagged roles. And pre-tagged roles means that someone in programming has already dragged, they have already dragged and dropped boxes for signatures and initials. So we don't have to worry about doing that. So I'm going to click on Add Recipient, Pre-tagged Roles. There are two other options in here, room participants and email addresses. I stay away from room participants. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm a little congested. I stay away from room participants because this gives them certain access that we don't want them to have. So I'm either going to be using pre-tagged roles or email address. Right now we're using pre-tagged roles. And once I choose pre-tagged roles, it's going to give me an option of who these people are so I can assign them. So I'm going to need seller one. I'm just going to do seller one to sign. And then listing agent. We don't need to have our broker signing because we're representing the broker. So it's just going to be seller one and the listing agent. And I'm going to choose who seller one is in the drop down. That's going to be, we'll say Harry Potter. No, we're going to make Janet. Janet is seller one. Listing agent is going to be myself. You're going to have two email addresses in here. It doesn't matter which one you choose. You can choose either one. And then I'm going to click Add Selected. Once I have Add Selected, the two people pop in here. On the left-hand side, I have two boxes with the number 1 in it. These are my signing order. So if I want them both to sign at the same time, I'm going to make sure that's the same number. So both Janet and myself can sign this without needing the other one to have signed it first. So Janet signs it, great. If I haven't signed it, she still can sign it. I can sign it without her signature now as well. If I was in the number 2 position though, I wouldn't be able to sign it until Janet signs it. So I like to keep them the same number as much as possible. Otherwise, a whole transaction can get hung up on one person not responding. And that's just not how I like to operate. It kind of scares me. I'm like, come on, you should sign this. Everyone else is waiting for you. And then someone's waiting.
You might need to make it 1-2 or?
You don't need to make it 1-2, no. Just keep them as 1. You can have up to 4 as the same number. So 4, I think, you know what, let me add, okay, no. You could have 3 as the same number, I'm sorry.
Like everybody needs their own email, is that correct?
Everyone will need their own email, yep.
Separate email.
Yep, for the electronic signing laws, everyone needs their own email. And then once I've added them, I'm going to choose what they need to do. So right now it's defaulted to needs to sign. If I click on this, I can choose either needs to sign, needs to view, receives a copy. I can specify another recipient, or they can be the witness for the signer. We're going to deal a lot with needs to sign, needs to view, receives a copy. When would someone need to just view it?
After it's all signed to make sure that everything's fine?
They could, yep. It could be a vendor that maybe is doing a mortgage or insurance. They need to view that it has been gone through. receiving a copy, definitely a mortgage lender is going to want a copy of the contracts and things like that, not the listing agreement, but we're talking signed contract. They want to show that it's happening. But we're usually never going to use specify recipient or witness for signing. If I click on the more dropdown, I can add an access authentication to it or a private message for this person. I'm going to give Janet my.
What occasion do you normally use that?
For here? We don't usually use these. The only instance you would, maybe if it's a high profile, you're worried about someone hacking into their email, then you could use an authentication key. Private message, maybe it's just more instructions to somebody than others. And maybe it's a message saying, hey, if this doesn't work out, just give me a call and we'll sign it in person. Because maybe they're local to you versus the other person who's out of state. But usually we don't use those parts, but it's an option. You're going to come down now to this box, and this is the email message. So this is the email message that you can send to them before they sign it. This could be instructions. This could be a congratulations. It's, you know, you're listed now, or congratulations, your house is sold. But usually I use it for instructions, saying be sure to click everything that it tells you to click, and you aren't considered finished until you see the you're finished page. Because there is a page that'll say it, and I'm going to show it to you.
What are the email addresses? Is that something you would have in their profile as your opportunity?
Yep. So in your contacts, you're going to be putting their phone number, email, all your information inside the contact, and that pulls that info into the opportunity when you assign them to that opportunity. Okay. And then it pulls it into DocuSign. Yeah. You can also go back to that details page inside of DocuSign and put it in there as well. Because some people are just weird about emails. They're like, no, I don't want it in this, but you can have it in that, and you can add it there. I've heard some weird things. I'm going to click the next button. And this is going to bring me into an editing area. And when I mean editing, it's going to be editing the signatures and initials, cross-throughs that we might need to make, adding checkboxes or radio buttons, things along those lines. So this isn't editing the information, it's just editing what they can sign. Most of it's already put in for us. So I'm going to scroll through and we'll see that the seller's initial is in here and mine is already in there to be written. Same thing here. And at this point, I just go through and make sure that everything is correct where it belongs. That all works out. Wire fraud, good. Okay. So everything is where it belongs. But what if, for instance, this was missing for Harry's signature? I don't have Harry in here, so I can't show you to switch it over, but we're going to pretend that I'm going to be Harry Potter for a second. And Harry's signature was missing. I switched it over to Harry or to myself, and then I'm going to just drag this over and drop it in here. Same thing with the date signed. Sometimes the people who formatted these didn't format them correctly, and things that are required may be not required, so we need to make them that way. To know that something is required is that it's a solid color. If it is not required, we'll just unrequire this for a second. I'm gonna click on it. It's gonna have a white background instead. But these are sections that are definitely required to have acknowledged. So if I want to change it, I'm gonna click on that box. A new menu opens on the right-hand side, and there's a checkbox for required field underneath their name. Click it, and it is now required. It will not let them continue forward until that one has been signed. All right, once that has been completed, I can go ahead and send this. So I'm going to click send.
Because it can't be sent if anything's missing, if I remember right.
It can be sent if something is missing, but then you'll have to make corrections afterwards. And that's another can of worms altogether. So if something's
If
missing.
you make it required, it can't be sent.
Oh, yes, yeah. No, so yeah, that's, sorry.
That's okay, I'm vague, but I mean, I'm trying to remember from a couple of years.
Right, so when they're signing it, as long as it's required, they can't go any further unless they check it off or sign it. If it's not required, they can continue forward. So it's gonna be up to us to be like, yep, that is required, so I need to change that to be required. So that does pop up here and there. I sent it to get signed now. We're back in the envelope. So this is the envelopes that I've sent, and it shows that it needs my signature as an agent. So I'm gonna click on this, and I'm gonna click sign. You're also gonna receive an email that says it needs your signature. So if you're using your phone, you can go through that as well. I like to use the computer. It's bigger for me. I'll click continue. Your client or customer is going to see something very identical to this. So they're going to hit the start button, take you to the first spot for them to sign. And I'm just going through this because as an agent, I already know what this all says, so I'm not worried. And then I'm going to click finish. They aren't done until they see your finished sign. We don't see it as an agent. We'll see the waiting on others instead. And I'm gonna go into my phone. I'm gonna share my phone to show you what that looks like from that perspective. Okay, oops. Phone's connecting, there we go. Email. Oh no, not that one. There we go. Review documents. Now we do get a lot of people that'll sign through their phones or tablets. This is what it'll look like for them. It's gonna say, I agree, continue. It's on the mobile friendly version right now. You're gonna scroll through. And you're gonna either select a style, draw, or upload a signature. They're gonna draw. And then I'll say adopt an initial, initial, signature. Oh, that was the initials that I did. Select style instead, okay. Adopt and sign. Gosh, okay. Next. Sign. Next. Initial. And you'll see that because I've already signed it as the agent, my signature appears at the bottom. The same thing will happen if they sign it and then you sign it, their signatures will appear on there as well. And this is the completed document that shows them in the standard view. And I'll click finish. Do I want to save a copy? No, thanks. And here's that you've finished signing thing. If they don't see this, they have not finished it. And I know I've said it several times, but it happens a lot. You'll be surprised at how much they're like, oh, I didn't complete it? No, you didn't. So I'm going to share my screen again. Share. All right. So it still says waiting for others. I'm going to refresh this. And now it says completed. Yay, I love completed documents. I'm gonna go to documents now, and it's gonna show us that there are new versions of the forms that we had. And those versions have a little green check mark that says signed. These are the ones that we're gonna end up uploading that says signed. So now I can go into command. I'm going to upload the documents because they've been completed, ready to go. I'm going to choose it from DocuSign. It's going to ask me if the working folder, and I'll say room docs. Listing agreement, drop down. Oh, come on. I'm going to refresh this. DocuSign room docs. Okay, here we go. So here's the listing agreement. We don't have a signed seller's disclosure right now, so we're not uploading that. Oh yeah, we do. Sorry, we have the seller's disclosure. I keep mixing up the disclosure and the property disclosure. So we don't have the MLS broker synopsis because it's not in the MLS. Seller's property disclosure is not signed, so we don't have, but we do have wire fraud. All right, so those are now in there. When I have everything required, and possibly any conditionals that I have here, I will upload them. Okay. And then I'm going to hit submit to MC. We need to hit submit to MC in each folder. So we're in the list folder right now. Then we go to under contract. Because this is how we get our compliance checked. And if you don't go through compliance, you're not going to get paid. You want to be paid. You're doing a lot of work, get paid for it. So now time moves along, we get an offer. Awesome. This is only 3 hours and we have an offer. We're amazing agents. So I'm going to upload that offer into my DocuSign because I need to make some changes and I need my client to sign it. So I'm going to click add and I'm going to choose computer because I downloaded it from the email that they sent it. Each agent uses a different type of signing software. It's just inevitable. I have maybe come across a few that'll use DocuSign, but the majority, .loop, Transaction Desk, it's all over the place. So it's easier if they send it to you as a PDF, and then you just upload it into your system, which is what they usually do. This is actually how, when you send it through DocuSign, you're actually sending them a PDF. Okay, I want any contract here. Offer. So I'm just using an offer I found on the computer. I'm using an example. I'm uploading it now. It comes in as a PDF. See how it came in here. I went to add. Then I chose computer to add and upload. If I go into this offer, come on. Please check back in a few minutes. I just recently had an error in command that goes, not working right now, come back in 10 minutes.
I just had that.
I'm like, really? In 10 minutes? You're gonna be ready in 10 minutes? Okay. I don't know why I was so upset over the 10-minute remark. It felt very cheeky to me. Like, are you really? Oh, come on.
So
Here we go.
that will go to your email and then you'll upload it from your email.
Yes, yeah. So the offer comes in from another agent. It comes as a PDF, and then you upload the PDF in here.
Okay.
So we're gonna pretend that this is an offer for this property. Okay, great. Ooh, that price is way too low for us, okay. So I'm making notes as I go through here what's gonna need to be changed. Okay. So we have our notes, what adjustments we need to make. I'm going to now click the check mark to select it. I'm going to click create envelope because we're going to be sending it out. Okay, so this is going to be, I'll name the envelope offer 1. And when I come down to add recipients for this particular offer, we're going to see that there is no pre-tagged roles. That's because this isn't a form. This is just a strict PDF. So there's no programming in it, nothing. We have to choose either room participant or email address. I'm going to choose email address. And I'm going to put in Janet's name. and then her email. This is actually mine. And Janet's going to need to sign. I'm going to type in a message again and let her know, hey, I have some corrections that we need to have signed, and so on and so forth. Please advise on what you would like, and these are the changes that we've talked about. And I'm going to click the next button. And this is where we're going to start making our changes. We need to redline things. I don't know how Scott likes it here, if he wants you to start with a fresh contract, or if he wants you to redline things and to have things for history-wise. I have 2 brokers I work with, and I can't remember who wants what. So ask Scott how he likes it versus doing this. I'm just showing you how to make the corrections, though. So we want to correct that price. Here's that price. I'm going to switch over to pre-fill tools. And down at the bottom, there's the line. I click on the line, and it shows a little red line next to the finger. And I'm going to click once at the beginning of the number, drag it through the number, and the line has been completed. I'm now going to take a text box, put it right above it. I'm going to go into the add text thing that appears on the right now, and I'm going to say, oops, is that 9 million or 1, 2, 3, 900,000? I'm going to say 900,000 instead. Now, because this is text, I think I can have, yeah, I can, commas and $signs. All right, click on that. See any other formatting? Nope, okay. Now I also need to have initial boxes because we need to say that, yes, we approve of this. So I'm going to click back onto standard fields, and I'm going to bring in the initial box. I'm going to put it right here. I can actually make it a little bit smaller. If I want to make it smaller, I'm going to use these handlebars, and you'll see that the arrows appear. I can either make it bigger, or I can make it smaller. Bigger or smaller? Right there. Because that way I want to have room for the other parties to be able to put their initial boxes and things like that. I'm also fuzzy on the corrections here, so don't take my word for how that's done, but the red line is correct. You strike it through that, putting the new box in, it's who initials it first and vice versa to send it. So I want the initials for the corrections made first before we sign it, and then we will sign it. So this is ready to be sent over for initialed. I'll click send. They'll get it initialed, you'll get back another copy, and you can send that off to be signed again. All right, so that is how you use the tools within DocuSign. Let's take a look at.
If somebody has like in today's market, like you get 10 offers or whatever, do they need to make a opportunity for each contract?
No. So you will have multiple offers entered into your commission's request area. So you only really need the one that you accept.
Okay.
But if you have multiple offers and you present them all, and your buyer or your seller says this one, that's the one you can put in. You don't have to put them all in. But if you want to compare them side by side in like an Excel type chart, you can enter in all the information for all of them within Command and present them that way. But that's totally up to you and how your style is. So it's a possibility. So, okay, so we have that, and then we go into under contract, and upload are required in any conditionals and submit that to MC. And same thing once we're closed, we're going to come back into the closed file and upload a copy of the closing checks, warranty deed, and a settlement statement. You will get these at the closing. All of these will come from the closing. Okay, does anyone have any questions on DocuSign? Cool.
I will later tonight.
Oh, this.
You
It
don't
just
have
wanted
the
to
question
be
directly.
clear where you were getting the list of those forms again.
Oh, yeah, yep.
Where you,
So the list is going to come from when we select the checklist, either residential or vacant land. And what I am required to have comes from these folders right here.
okay.
So it
And
shows that
what
I'm-
box under command is that? I'm brand new today. just-
Okay. Oh, what's your name?
Lynn.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What boxes would that be under command? Is there like a specific box that that's in?
You started opportunity to find all this. Right?
Yes. So yeah, you start the opportunity.
Yeah.
And so when you create it, it's going to have inside the documents tab. It's going to look like I can't switch off to no checklist, but it's going to have nothing listed here. And it's going to tell you right here to pick a checklist.
Okay.
And then you can choose residential or vacant land. And once you do that, you're going to have the lists showing to you.
Okay.
Same thing if you chose vacant land, we'll switch to vacant land. It has a list for vacant land as well. Yep. Same thing. So I switched to under contract. I have a new list right here. Same thing for the closed.
So when the possible buyer is sending it, the offer to,
Yep.
it's coming to your email.
Yes.
and
Yep.
They address it to your email.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. You're going to have everything sent to your email.
And then you go through it and then you update it and send it to your client.
Yes. Yep. You could potentially, that's going to be more complicated. Never mind. I'm not going to tell
I
you.
don't remember a whole bunch of them, but
Yeah.
just trying to get updated on it, but I was just like.
Yep. So yeah, you will always worry about your side. So if I'm representing the seller, I'm only worried about my seller's initial boxes, signature boxes, corrections, and then I'm going to send it to the buyer's agent for them to worry about their side. Because I know some agents like to add in both buyer and seller check boxes. There's no need because the other side's going to delete them anyways or just kind of ignore them and put their own in. So just have the other agent put it
So
in.
if you're negotiating the price back and forth,
Yep.
like they sent the offer like you did, so you just really initially do the, like if you're gonna send it back, you just do the initial box for the change of price.
I believe so.
Okay.
That I
So they
can't.
must sign it or they don't sign it, not the seller.
I wouldn't sign it until those initials that they say, yes, we accept those, and then the seller can sign it. I don't know if that's correct, but I think that's the safest thing. Because then you could go back in court and say, I didn't sign this. I initialed the approvals, but the contract was never complete because it wasn't signed.
And there's a history anyway, so I mean.
There is, yeah.
Whether you redline it or not.
Yeah,
or
yes.
Whatever broker wants a new form.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a history no matter what.
Yeah, so because it's going to be held within your DocuSign showing all of that anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, ask Scott what he prefers to have. And if it's a clean form, that's actually pretty easy because all you do is fill in the accepted information. And then it's just the signatures and the initials at the bottom.
Can you send in, we had a referral come in, and so I was texting Scott, which I only met him once, and I was texting him like, can you sign this for a referral form? And I just sent it to his email, and then he said he signed it, he sent it back, and he said, if you can next time just put it DocuSign, I see that quicker.
Okay.
Then I see. Maybe
yes, you could add him. So as our broker.
I don't have an opportunity going and all, I have nothing, because I'm.
You actually, for a referral, you do need to have an opportunity. Yep. So in a referral, this is good information. When you have a referral, you're going to create a buyer opportunity, and in there, it'll have a referral section. I'll show you. That's okay. So we use it to track it. So that way, when we say, hey, we have a check for 1234 Main Street, but because the agent name usually doesn't go on there, it's going to be the office's name. And if someone doesn't claim it, it sits there for a while. But when someone has an opportunity in there, we can go, oh, this is an opportunity for Jamar. So we can say, Jamar, your check is in. That's what we do.
I did one yesterday. I think, let me see how you do it.
Okay.
I did
So I'm going to click create opportunity. I'm going to fill in my information. So it's going to be a buyer, even if it's a listing opportunity or whatever. It's always a buyer when you have an referral. Only because that selection allows us to do specific things. Client, I will be the client.
So even if we have a listing site out of state,
Yep, it'll still be under the buyer opportunity. Yep. Blake Wickfold. Oh my gosh, I can't spell. REF. 2 F's, 1 F.
1 F, 2 R's, I think.
Thank you. Sure. Commission rate is going to be 100. And then active, say negotiations. Create.
Commission rate, what you put 100 there?
Yeah, so yeah, you're going to put 100 because you've calculated, you know how much the sales price is. So then you calculate the commission, then how much you get off that commission. And that's the price, that's the number you're going to put into your commissions request. So you'll get 100% of that.
So where does it, or is it on the form that states it's like 25% referral from the other company?
Yeah, so on the form, it'll say that. But when we put it in our system, you say you're going to get 100% because the number we put into the negotiation, not negotiation, but in the terms, that commission request is going to be your amount of referral. Then I'm going to come into documents. And then my pick checklist type is going to be referral at the bottom. So the listings only had vacant land and residential. Buyers have residential, new construction, vacant land, and referral. The referral checklist is the referral agreement itself. Then an under contract, it doesn't have anything. It's just the referral agreement needs to be uploaded. And that's it right here. This just helps us track it so we can identify whose referral check it is. You can still create one.
I think I did it. I don't know if I did it right. I mean, she accepted.
Oh, good. Yeah. So no, the first step is to have them accept a referral.
Yeah, it was Keller Williams to Keller Williams.
Okay. No, that's good. I mean, you could refer it to anybody, it doesn't matter, but I like to say KW.
But I was heard, yeah, that when it's from here to another Keller Williams, that it's the agreement is not necessary.
The agreement is always necessary.
I have to look into
it. Always have the written agreement saying that you have this, you're getting a certain percentage. Yeah. That's just to save yourself, and then them too. Because you never know. I've worked with agents that have refused to give me a referral, even though we discussed it. Because we didn't have, it was brand new on my sister's house. And I was working with my sister and she didn't realize that she should let me know so I could connect with that agent for her. So I connected with the agent, said, hey, this is what's happening. Is it okay if we do a referral? And he goes, yeah, of course. Well, I sent him the paperwork. He doesn't sign it. I cut out of the deal totally. Yeah, it was not very ethical. And it was, yeah, I was not happy. So no one was.
We were surprised also that we needed the 1099 from the office.
Yeah. You'll need the W9. You need to send the W9.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I didn't know that because we went to Lewis and we're like, you know, our house closed like 3-4 weeks ago. When did we get commission? Yeah, our referral check.
Gotcha.
And then Rebecca was like, did you send the W9? I was like, I have a W9. So
yes.
She was on her computer and she sent it to me so I could just forward it to the agent. So you always have to know, if you don't send it to the agent that you're getting a referral from, they'll never send you a check and they'll just get the money.
That's a good point too. Yep. So you're going to send that referral form, and once they accept, you're going to send a W9 over as well. So that way we can get paid.
Yeah.
Otherwise it sits there.
It's the building's W9.
Yep.
It's not my personal.
Yep.
The brokers.
Yep. So. Absolutely.
Yeah, that was
a learning point after 20 years. So I was like, okay. So for anybody here, you need W9 if you get a
W9.
Yeah. Rebecca can give it, and now Brian has it too.
Yeah. Lewis should
sure.
Also too. Rebecca, Brian Lips probably. I don't know about Brittany. I don't have one, but somebody does.
If you really want one, I have one.
Oh, that actually might be good because I can send it out. All right. Any other questions? Okay. Great. Well, thanks for coming, guys. It didn't take as long as we had in there, so you have some extra time. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'd be happy to help. And
YouTube videos, do you have how to create a listing presentation in Command?
We've done, I don't know, remember what it's called. I have to look.
Okay, because I was in there looking and I was like, I don't see, and it's very confusing.
Yes, I'll show
I've
you.
used other tools and I'm like, Jesus, this is hard.
All right, thanks for joining us, Svetlana in Zoom land. We will talk to you later.